my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. We are all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things differently here on this channel, so that being said, if the message does resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Triggering statements may arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, and keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. Your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing today. So with that being said, let's get to it, and we're going to start with your prayer. And the reading today is what makes you unforgettable. This was a channeled message that came in, so I feel like we just need some positive energy across the collective, starting out this new year. And just a reminder of how truly valuable and worthy we are in this moment. You know, it never hurts to be reminded of those things, does it? All right. My beloved source, this prayer is for anyone and everyone who comes onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. Today I ask that you bring forth messages that remind us of our innate worth, the value that we hold deep within ourselves, and that in this moment we are enough exactly as we are. Sometimes life can get us caught up in believing that we have to change who we are in order to be accepted. And that when the world out there doesn't seem to accept us, we think that we're not worthy of being accepted by ourselves. So today I ask that you help us stop, slow down, and remind ourselves that the only thing that matters is how we see ourselves. Accepting ourselves is everything. Honoring ourselves is everything. That it's never been about the outside world, because the outside world is going to do whatever it chooses to do, with or without us. And that if we keep trying to change ourselves to appease the world out there, that we'll slowly lose ourselves and become further disconnected from our truth and our authentic selves. So today I ask that you help us embrace our authentic expression, knowing that as we are, is and always will be and has always been enough, and that we are so deserving of accepting ourselves, and in turn, through that self-acceptance, that we will find others who accept us in this world. As these words are spoken upon this tribe and over this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right. So today I was called to use the Wild Soul Oracle cards by Leela Ravenswood. And let me go ahead and get to shuffling that. So you guys might hear some background noise. They are working on the RV today, and yeah, so I have to do some recording, so you might still hear some stuff going on in the background. All right. So what Wild Soul Oracle card will help us better understand the message? What makes you unforgettable? What makes you unforgettable? Source, what Wild Soul Oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today? What makes you unforgettable? Okay, thank you. What makes you unforgettable? Oh, and my AC is turning on and off, so bear with me here. All right, pile one. What makes you unforgettable? What Wild Soul Oracle card is going to help us better understand what makes you unforgettable, pile one? Whoa, thank you. All right, pile number two. What makes you unforgettable? What Wild Soul Oracle card is going to help us better understand what makes you unforgettable, pile number two? Oh, thank you. All right, pile three. What makes you unforgettable? What Wild Soul Oracle card is going to help us better understand what makes you unforgettable, pile number three? What makes you unforgettable? Okay, thank you. Collective energy, bottom of the deck. Ooh, we have the worm. What an interesting energy to come through with the renewal. So you are constantly changing and shifting and renewing your life. Like, your life is not the same as it once was. And this is what makes you unforgettable. Like, people watch you all the time just to see, like, what the heck are they going to do now? Who the heck are they going to become now? Like, what's going to change about them now? I feel like people are obsessed with your transformation, and that makes you unforgettable because you're always transforming. This is not about a 30-second impression. This is about a series of impressions that you've made over a long amount of time to many, many, many different people. And you're consistent with your transformation. You're consistent with renewing your life, with renewing your vitality, with renewing your spirit. And it's like, just when things seem to level out for you, you find a new way that is even more aligned with who you are, whether that's an expression or a way of presenting yourself or a way of being in this realm. You're always finding something that is deeply aligned with you, and your emotional well-being is constantly evolving as well. You have turned into a powerhouse of emotional stability, which is, as sad to say, is a rarity in this realm, because so many people are learning from others that are emotionally unstable, and that has become the norm for the whole of this realm, is that emotional instability and what it's running us by, the emotional ego and the triggers and the wounds that we have. And for you, it shows that collectively you are learning how to grow spiritually and emotionally in such a way that no matter what life brings your way, you can't see what's out there, right? Worms are blind. They can't see what's going on. They literally feel their way through the world, the earth, in a very slow way. But the beautiful thing about worms, and I don't know if you're familiar with, I wish I could remember the book. I think it's called the no-till method, but I have done a lot of research on no-till and what it means for the earth. It's literally the way the world was designed to grow. So like, farmers, they till the land to plant the seed, but to do no-till means to let the worms create the environment and the ecosystem upon which the plants grow. And they've done studies on it, and the soil of no-till is actually very healthy and nutrient filled, and it has all its healthy minerals, and plants can thrive better in a no-till environment than they can in a tilled soil, because tilled soil is stripping it of its nutrients. It's stripping it of the phosphates and all the things that it needs to grow. And that's why you'll see farmers, they'll rotate their crops. The reason they rotate their crops is because tilling the land is stripping the land. And it's like you've gone back to this old way of being, which is learning and being aware of oneself, blind to the whole world, but also serving this purpose of bringing the love, the light, the compassion, which is renewal for the world around you. So while not everybody wants to receive that, because not everybody sees the benefit in it, it doesn't mean that it's not leaving its mark. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Wow. I love this message. Okay, so we have the worm. Let's see what the worm says from the book. The humble worm represents renewal and transformation. Often found in the earth, worms play a vital role in regenerating soil, making it fertile and alive. This card is about renewal, transformation, and the cycles of life. The worm encourages you to embrace change and to understand that even the smallest efforts can lead to profound transformations over time. Isn't that what I was saying? Like, this is over time. This is not something that happened once in a lifetime. This is not something that you impressed upon one person. This has happened over a lot of time. So it's talking about a period of renewal ahead. Embrace change, knowing that it will bring new life and opportunities. And the reverse is you may be resisting necessary change. Holding on to the past may hinder your growth and prevent new opportunities from emerging. Your questions are: what areas of my life needs renewal? Am I resisting change that could lead to growth? And how can I embrace transformation? So showing that there are a lot of people who are resistant to your renewal and transformation. But even that small change is enough to create profound and lasting effects on people, leaving you unforgettable in their eyes. What a reading already. I already know this is going to be a fun one. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I love all the readings that I do. But some are just, some you're just like, I've been doing a lot of deep readings lately. I need to do something that's light and fun. And that's why I'm so excited to be here today. All right. I think I've got the camera a little crooked. Let me try to straighten that out a little bit here. Okay, so for pile number 1, I do have this dice with the 4th house on it. Or I have this little grandfather clock trinket. Okay, and pile number 2, we have this dice with the 9th house on it. Or you have this rhodonite obelisk to choose from. Pile number 3, we have this dice with the 6th house on it. Or you have this little banjo pin to choose from. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the one for you, and I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 4th house on it, or perhaps you were called to this little grandfather clock trinket, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what makes you unforgettable. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. We do things differently here on this channel, so that being said, if the message does resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Triggering statements may arise on the readings themselves, so there's no obligation to force it to fit, and remembering that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. And with that, keep in mind your time and your energy are a true blessing and a gift today. So let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what makes you unforgettable, pile number 1. Pile 1, what makes you unforgettable? So we've got the sun coming out for sure. We've got the 5th house, and we've got Virgo energy. So you could have the 5th house in Virgo, your sun in Virgo. You could also have highly aspect Leo, or have Leo placements highly aspect in your chart. What makes you unforgettable? Your appearance, for one thing. You're very bright, very attractive as well. There's something about you that's incredibly attractive. So whether that's your looks, your aura, your energy, or all of that mixed in together, you're a very, very attractive person, and that makes you unforgettable. But you're also very lighthearted and fun and flirty, and you like to goof around and get in touch with your inner child. I feel like you make other people get in touch with their inner child. Like wherever you go, if things get super serious, you're the one that breaks that ice. You're like, no, we don't need to be in this serious energy. Like, let's have some fun. Let's do things that are more lighthearted. However, you're also incredibly serious when needed to be. So you're not just all goof and no seriousness, right? You're a goof because you've learned to enjoy the lighter side of life, but you're also someone who gets down to business when necessary. You're very observant. You have this incredible ability to really see what's going on with a situation or with people, and to pay attention to the very minute details in those situations. I also feel like you have something to do with aesthetics. So it's the way that you dress, or the way that you have your house design set up, or the way that you organize your office, or something like that. Something about aesthetics, and that's something that makes you unforgettable. People look at you and they're like, oh wow, pile one, the way they organize this, it's unforgettable. And that's so cool, because I've never seen anybody do that like pile one does that. You have a way with creating ease for others as well. Like, even though you're incredibly beautiful, really very good looking and handsome, people aren't intimidated by you. You have this very approachable energy where people feel like they can come up to you and tell you things and share their stories with you, but also ask you questions. You're very modest. So even me telling you you're a very good looking person, you're probably like, I'm not that good looking. It's just because you're incredibly modest, and that's something that's unforgettable about you. So you're just someone who people just see as, like, they really feel like you're super down to earth and very chill, but also someone who could have anybody and anything that they want in life, because you have that ability to charm others and to even seduce others is coming through. So, okay. And you're not someone who does it out of manipulation either. Like, you do it because that's just who you are. Like, it's not, I don't even think it's something you're really conscious of. You're just letting yourself be really authentic to yourself, and that's the energy that you give off. So we're going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot today. What makes you unforgettable, pile one? What makes you unforgettable? Thank you. Yeah, a lot of Leo energy coming through. Also, Libra energy is coming in. Libra in the 3rd house, the 5th house, the 9th house. Libra in Uranus, and Libra in Saturn is coming through. Okay, so what makes you unforgettable, pile one? What makes you unforgettable, pile number one? Oh, thank you. What makes you unforgettable, pile number one? Thank you. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Mother of Pentacles. Yeah, the Queen of Coins energy. Very grounded, very down to earth, very nurturing and open. You have no problem caring for people. Like, compassion moves you, and that's something that makes you very unforgettable. You're also in this innocence of like this very innocent energy where, people feel like even though, like, what is it? You're that lady in the street, but a freak in the sheets type energy, and I don't know what they say for guys, but whatever. It's that same energy where it's like when you're out and about, you give off this very innocent, almost professional energy, but when people get to know you behind closed doors, and it's not just in the bedroom, right? It's just like when people get to know you behind closed doors, they get to see a whole nother side of you. And that's something that makes you unforgettable too. Like, to people who get to know you, they always will have a lasting impression of you because you make them laugh. I feel like I'm seeing like someone spitting something out their nose. So like, like liquid out their nose, like you caught people off guard and have made them spray their drinks out their nose. And you have really just made people bust out stomach laughing, like belly laugh that maybe they haven't had a good laugh like that in a while. You've even made people cry from laughing so hard. And I think it's just that funny. It's maybe you're a stand-up comedian, or that's something that you're interested in, or you just like to just have a good time. I'm also seeing like playing tag. So maybe as an adult, you got a whole bunch of friends to play tag together and you guys were all just having a good time. Like a lot of games coming up. I'm seeing like football, foosball, seeing soccer. I'm seeing frisbee golf. I'm seeing tennis. I'm seeing like volleyball. I'm seeing like pool volleyball with the beach ball and stuff. I'm seeing like just a lot of activities. So you're a very active person. And maybe that's something that like you don't look like you're very active, but then when you go out and you get people involved in activity, like you always blow them out of the water. You might be a little competitive, but it's nothing that is too overly competitive. So where, when someone's really, really competitive, it's kind of annoying. But you're not like that. You just like to get everyone hyped up. Like, let's all get into it, right? I'm also seeing beanbag toss. What is that called? Cornhole, I think. And so, yeah, so I'm seeing like a lot of different types of games and activities. Like, you're not someone who likes to sit around on your phone or watching TV or on the couch. Like you like to be out doing things like in nature and going for walks and talking to the neighbors, and you're just someone who's always got your hand in around the neighborhood and with other people. And but it's not for like gossip or anything like that. This is truly because you care, and I feel like you remember pertinent details about others, and that's something that makes you unforgettable as well. Like you remember their kids' names or their grandkids' names or their coworker that they've been having trouble with. Like you remember the story and you'll ask them about it after time has passed, and that leaves this impression of feeling heard and seen, and that's something that makes you feel unforgettable. Yeah. We have the 8 of coins. There's something about the way you work, the way you show up, what you create. We have the 6 of wands. Yeah, you're just a very good ally to have. And the 10 of wands. That's the other thing too. I feel like you have had some difficulties in life, some challenges and broken hearts. And you have been through so much yourself that it's easy for you to be able to immerse yourself into others' pain and to others' trauma and tragedy and give them advice that helps them feel seen and heard. And so what makes you feel unforgettable is like you're the friend that didn't experience the hardship with them, but somehow experienced the hardship with them, right? Like you're the person who went through it with them, even though you might not have been there. But just them sharing their story with you, they feel like you were there and that they can confide in you about that. And so maybe you're a psychologist. That could be something that you're really interested in, psychology or therapy or counseling or something like that. That could be what you do for work. Or you could be a tarot reader or some sort of psychic, or have a gift in that way where people connect with you in that light. Or you just have normal work, whatever that is, right? Construction, office job, or, whatever there is out there, police officers coming in as well. I just feel like people approach you all the time at work, and it's like some people and some people you don't know, but I just feel like you're just the go-to person where people approach you. And maybe that's something you've always wondered, like, why do people approach me? And it's because of the energy you give off. Very motherly, innocent energy, very nurturing energy that people feel like they can trust, and that you're not going to break their trust or betray them. And also you make them feel seen and heard. And that's something that feels very freeing in a situation or in a world where nobody feels seen and nobody feels heard. And so that's what makes you unforgettable. So let's dig in a little bit deeper. I feel like people think that you're their ally. Yeah, so we have Square coming out, a challenging situation and a mountain to climb, the trauma. You're able to connect with others through trauma. So maybe you, on the side, maybe you do something like shadow work, or that's something that you're interested in pursuing. Or, you're helping others deal with their shadow just by you dealing with your shadow. But whatever it is, it's like the trauma that you've been through, it gives you an in to connect with others. And that's what makes you unforgettable, is the fact that you're not someone that people would think that has gone through the things that you've gone through. This is like all the difficulties in life that you've had to experience. Like when people talk to you, it's like, I would have never guessed that you had to go through that. I would never have guessed that you had to experience that. You're just not the type of person that I would ever see life handing out that type of trauma to. And you're like, yeah, but I made the best with it, living in this big blue world with my head up in outer space. I know I'll be A-OK. I know I'll be A-OK. I see trouble come my way. I'll be making lemonade, knowing I'll be A-OK. Saying I'll be A-OK. So that song is called A-OK. And it's A-OK. That's what it's called. But it's talking about how the world is, there's this line where he says, I have horrible, very bad, no good days. But I'm never gonna let anybody see it because I'm gonna be A-OK. Like, that's you. You've had some really crap days, like some really difficult things that you've gone through, but you'll be damned if you let anybody see that you're not okay. That's the type of energy that you're in. But at the same time, you're not doing it out of ego. You're not doing it out of like, I'm better than others. You're doing it because it's like everybody has a hard time in life. And when people are ready to share with you, you're also there in a way that no one else is able to be there, because everyone else is so worried about how their trauma is worse than everyone else's. And you're saying like, no, everyone has trauma. We can all come together and heal in a way that, we couldn't before. And so that's what I feel is very unforgettable about you. Yeah, look, with the 8th house, the shadow work. We have transformation, karma, facing fears, and leaving legacies. So there's something about the way that you approach the shadow self or shadow work. That's what makes you unforgettable. You're not afraid of the shadow, because that's where I feel like you found the most light, is in the shadow itself. Ooh, yeah. Enough. You were born enough. And I feel like this is another thing too. You help others see that they're enough as they are right now. And in this life where everyone is trying to convince everyone else that they don't fit in. Excuse me. It came out so fast. You're helping others see that they are enough as they are in this moment, that they do belong, and that they are worthy of what it is that they're asking for. Okay, so we've got on the bottom, accountability. Responsibility is a gift of love to yourself and others. Yeah, and you take accountability for yourself, your actions, your thoughts, your beliefs, everything about you, you're taking full accountability for. Even the things you've been through in life, you're taking accountability for that, and that's what makes you unforgettable. Okay, so we've got brown bear spirit, take time out. You've done a lot of heart healing, and I feel like you touch people's hearts, their heart chakras. part of that comes from you living with your heart on your sleeve, right? You're this very gentle person, this very innocent person. We've got, yeah, yeah, dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. Yes, I love this, right? With the deer here, there's that innocence coming in. But you're very soft and gentle. You're very receptive and very gentle when you give, too. You're not someone who's forcefully trying to make people believe what you believe. You're just like, no, this is what I've seen and what I've experienced, and this is what I've gone through, and this is how I found a way to help myself. And that's like a guiding light to others. It's exactly what they need. All right, so on the bottom we have Ire and Othala with strive for divinity in your words, thoughts, and deeds, and shape your life according to your desires. The magic required for this is entering your life now. You are a living embodiment of your healing journey. So everything that you've healed, you're living in real time as well. Like, you're the product of your healing. You're the product of saving yourself. All right. Stillness. Yeah. What makes you unforgettable? You're a still lake. Like, they can see themselves reflected back. That's what I was saying. Like, you're able to put the shoe on the other foot. Like, they see themselves reflected back into you, which gives them a way to heal. Okay, they're saying that's it for now, so. We've got Afrael and Bletsa with a fresh wind is blowing into your life. Believe in your divine guidance and recognize all the gifts along your path. So you're a breath of fresh air, and the thing is that you're connected to source, you're connected to the divine and your guides, and I feel like they give you a lot of guidance along the way too. And I apologize for the banging. Like I said, they're working on the rig today, so there's gonna be noise in the background, but you're very connected, and you also bring a lot of blessings with you, and those blessings aren't, it's not monetary. You bring the blessing of life, the blessing of love, the blessing of compassion. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Like, people always think, no one has ever treated me as an equal except for pile number one. No one's ever shown me real love in the world except for pile number one. It's like they feel like you've filled all these roles that they've never had before in their life. And that's something that's really powerful for them. Yeah, perspective. The way you see the world. You do not see it the way a lot of people do. You're very unique in the way you stand out, and you are going back to some very old ways of living and embodying spirit and embodying self. And it's different from this futuristic way of living in disconnection and disassociation. You're going back to a time of connection, empathy, and understanding, and that's so powerful in this world, and it's something that the world desperately needs. And so the way that you see the world, you're the guiding light in the dark, and we see that here with this Milky Way perspective card. What a beautiful energy you truly have. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to read this one from the book. Oh wow, the seahorse perspective again. So it's the way you see the world. Again, you're able to put the shoe on the other foot. You're able to put yourself in their shoes. And that's not something that a lot of people are willing to do. In fact, I think I've mentioned this before at one other time, because it really irritated me when I first started the journey that so many people were willing to, it's like, how do I vocalize this? People weren't willing to see how I was coming, like where I was coming from, but they were willing to look at it when it was monetary, when it was gauged in money. And that always baffled me. I was always like, it's not about that though. And that was like only when people like saw it gauged in monetary were they willing to believe it. And I was so confused. And then Source gave me an answer one time, and it's like, people will go out of their way to pay money, to measure things by numbers, just so they don't have to feel and experience the pain that you went through, because they're so sorrowful and victimized by their own pain. But you're not like that. And you actually are healing others that are in that same energy, because you're giving them permission to say it's okay for us to connect with our grief. It's okay for us to connect with our sadness. It's okay for us to connect with the emotions that we're feeling, because we all feel them. So that perspective, again, it's like the guiding light in the darkness, right? With the moon here in the night. So it says, if I can open the book up here, the seahorse, a delicate and unique creature. I love this card. It's so beautiful. Of the ocean, symbolizes perspective, adaptability, and the ability to see situations from different angles. Unlike most fish, seahorses swim upright, giving them a unique view of their surroundings. This card suggests that you may need to shift your perspective or look at a situation from different angles. The seahorse reminds you that sometimes changing how you view things can reveal new insights and solutions. Shift your perspective and consider the situation from a different angle. A new viewpoint may reveal solutions or insights you hadn't considered, so you help others have insight that they didn't consider before. And the reverse is, you may be clinging to a single perspective, unable to see the full picture. Consider whether your current viewpoint is limiting your understanding or ability to move forward. Questions are, how can I shift my perspective to gain new insight? Am I stuck in a narrow way of thinking? Or what new angles or viewpoints can I explore? So it's how you view the world, and that's what makes you truly unforgettable. What a lovely energy you have, and I pray and hope that you truly celebrate yourself as you are, Pile 1, because you are a real gift in the world. It is a rare thing for a person to be willing to open themselves up, to put someone else's pain on so that they can actually empathize with them and sympathize with them, connecting with them on a much deeper spiritual level in that way. So keep doing what you're doing and let your authenticity be what guides you, because you are truly a blessing. Okay, so this is what I see here for you. If you feel like this is your reading, is there a seahorse emoji? If there's a seahorse emoji, leave the little seahorse emoji down below and say, I see the world through eyes of love and compassion, and my perspective allows me to connect with others in a very rare way. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me for you to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I would like to take this moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very profound message today. And until next time, Pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 9th house on it, or perhaps you were called to this rhodonite obelisk, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what makes you unforgettable. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things differently here on this channel, so that being said, if the message does resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Triggering statements may arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, and keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing today. And with that, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what makes you unforgettable, Pile number 2. Pile number 2, what makes you unforgettable? All right, so we've got the 6th house, we've got Mercury energy, and we've got Scorpio. You are very mysterious. And I feel like you believe you're an open book, and you may be as well. Like, you may share a lot of yourself with others. You may have your heart on your sleeve. You may be very open about life in general. And if anybody asks a question, I feel like you're very honest. But you are someone who has mastered the art of just answering the question and not over-explaining yourself. So, it's not about the right answer, it's about the right question. That's the type of energy that I'm getting right now. You have mastered the art of communication. I think there's a book called that, Master the Art of Communication. Maybe you've read that book. That might be something that has helped you in the way of how you present yourself and express yourself to others. Especially at work, your coworkers see you as someone who is very... You live your life separate from your work, and you don't intermingle the two. Like, you're not taking your work home with you, and you're not bringing your home life to work. That's not what you do. You keep them very separate from each other. And you come off as incredibly secretive and incredibly mysterious, but also very, very powerful and at times intimidating. Even though you're someone who's easy to talk to, there's still this element of intimidation. And I do feel like people have a tendency to get obsessed with you because they want to know more. And where you're willing to answer honestly anything and everything, there's also only so much that you can take from people who have that very aggressive, clingy energy. And so what makes you very unforgettable is the fact that you are very... you have a very large energy about you. You're very... There's a sense of... There's very sexual energy here. There's like sexual prowess is coming in. There is power in general, like self-empowerment. You have your power. You own your power. You own the space that you're in. Your ability to talk, it's a very smooth way of talking, and it has a tendency to charm people, and they get very overwhelmed by that. And I feel like that's something that's very unforgettable about you. But it's not anything that you're doing to manipulate others, or you're not doing it, because it's something that's going to get you further. It's just something that you've mastered, and that is very unique to you, but it also adds to your energetic presence, which is really unique as well. But I feel like at work especially, there's people who may have gotten really obsessed with you, or who have been really, really clingy, and you've had to change the way that you approach people at work, or let people approach you at work. Okay, so pile 2, what makes you unforgettable? And we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot today. Pile 2, what makes you unforgettable? What makes you unforgettable? You could be a boss as well, or have a management position, supervisor. I'm hearing foreman coming in as well. What makes you unforgettable? You also never leave anybody behind. So like you're always trying to help everybody get to the next level, especially at work, as best as you can, right? Obviously, you're not trying to drag people who don't want to help themselves, but if people want to help themselves, like, you're absolutely willing to go that extra mile with them. Yeah, you're also very lucky. It seems like everything seems to work out for you. What makes you unforgettable? Yeah, work energy with the Devil. There's definitely an energy where people get obsessed with you, feel very possessive, like they want to own you. What makes you unforgettable? Thank you. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Coins. You're very unique and unorthodox in the way that you approach everything at work. So this is definitely a work energy here. This is like a work situation, and I feel like these are people who've worked around you for a long time. But you're a very abundant person. You're very happy. You're very go-lucky, and you're inclusive of everyone. But you might not always have a smile on your face, but I feel like you're someone who's you're very cordial, and you're very friendly, and people really appreciate that about you. And that's something that also makes you very unforgettable, because even when there's been moments where you could have lashed out at others, you never do. It's just not something you do. You're not someone who's going to go and attack people for the sake of attacking them. Also, if you have a management position, you're not someone who holds that over everyone that works underneath you. You're someone who gets in and does the daily grind with them. And so there's a lot of respect that's coming through here. So it's like you give respect, and that in turn earns you respect. I also feel like you're very quick. Like if someone breaks your trust, they also, break ties to you. So it's like, even if it's someone that works with you, it's down to a minimal. Like if you have to connect with them, it's down to a minimal. Everything is as minimal as it can be. But people who are willing to put in the effort and work really hard with you, you are always doing your best to lift them up and to have credit due, where give credit where credit is due. You're not trying to steal credit, and that's something that people really find unforgettable about you, because you are very inclusive of everyone. Let's see what Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, so this is the Page of Coins. You are someone who likes to plant seeds for others to succeed. You may also be seen as a workaholic. You may have even said that yourself, like, I'm a workaholic. I feel like you really pour a lot into your work. It's something you really enjoy. It's something you really like. You're in some sort of leadership position, and you're always growing and expanding and connecting with more people. I do feel like there's this energy where you're trying to help others realize their dreams, and you give that through a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge that you yourself have earned. Like, you're not hoarding your knowledge, you're not hoarding your wisdom. You're doing your best to share that with others, and others benefit from that, and that's something that makes you unforgettable. You're building stepping stones for everyone, especially the people who are willing to help themselves. Like, you're building stepping stones. And there may be a lot of stepping stones that you've left behind that you've totally forgot about, that people are still using to this day. They're discovering this knowledge that you have now. Like, it could be something that's getting passed on from others. They're like, oh, pile 2, they helped me with this, and they showed me that I could do this, and that really helped me out along, my beginning of my journey. And that's something that people are like, oh, wow, I'm really glad that pile 2 left this. It's almost like a handbook for life, or a handbook for work. That's what makes you unforgettable. So maybe you did leave some sort of handbook or guide, or you could have be an author and have written like a self-help or a how-to book, or you have a how-to channel or something like that. You don't have to, but I feel like that's the type of energy that you have. Like, you're definitely kind of like got this DIY vibe about you, where you got to do it yourself. You got to learn how to figure it out yourself, but you leave the stepping stones for others to figure it out for themselves. And that's something that people find unforgettable, because you're not arrogant. And you're not trying to be like, oh, I'm the one who did this and I deserve all the credit, and screw you guys, you would never be anywhere if it weren't for me. Like, that's not how you approach it. You approach it from a very collective mindset, where it's like, hey, we're all in this together. And the more that we all do better, the better off it is for everyone. So everyone benefits. And that's where we need to focus on growing as much as we can. And so you're also very soft spoken. I feel like you can project when you want to, but most of the time you're a very quiet, soft spoken person. And this creates an environment where when you do speak, a lot of people immediately pay attention to you, because they respect and admire you so much. They want to know what it is that you're saying. So you have this tendency to have people hanging on your every word, and that's something that makes you unforgettable. Because I feel like a lot of the people that have heard you talk or share your knowledge, like they'll go home and they'll share it with others and like, oh my gosh, guess what pile 2 shared with us today? It's so cool. And they'll tell others, and it leaves even other people speechless who've never met you. But I do feel like it, through the grapevine, there's people who know you, who've never met you, and they respect and admire you because of who you are and what you've done. So it's like you give a safe environment. And again, with the devil here at the center, it does feel like this is a work environment, connecting with Capricorn energy, right? The 6th house, connecting with our coworkers. So it's like the work environment that you have created is a very safe environment, but it also lights a fire under people who are ready to take the next step to do that, to take that risk for themselves and go the extra mile for themselves. So let's see what else comes through for you. What makes you unforgettable, pile number 2? So on the bottom, we have Libra. Yeah, you're very fair-minded. Okay, consideration, fairness, and harmony. This is a very collective type mindset. It's like we're all in this together. If one person is winning and the rest of us are losing, that's not fair. So we need to balance that out. We all need to try and win. But there's also this understanding where you can't win them all, right? You can't win everybody over. You can't inspire everybody, but you're okay with that. You see it from all sides. I feel like you're not quick to judge either. Like you spend time observing. So if there's a problem or an issue with someone or something, like you spend some time observing that and finding the solution through that. Soft and gentle energy that you have. We have the key to intimacy. This card is really popular this week. It says intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. And I feel like you're helping others realize what love is not, because you're this embodiment of unconditional love. You're very accepting of others. Like even others who screw up or who make mistakes, like you're not someone who just turns them away at the first sign of an issue. Like I said, it's just those people that show that they're not willing to work with you or that they have a problem with you. If they mess up in that way, you do limit contact with them. It goes down to a bare minimum, but you're not someone who's quick to do something like that. Like you give people an opportunity to improve themselves or to find a solution or even help them find a solution. But it's the ones who show disrespect or who show indignant energy that you are like, nope, I can't deal with that, and I'm not going to deal with that, and I'm going to put it down to a bare minimum. So you're teaching others what love is, and you're also learning yourself what it means to love and respect yourself. And that is creating a ripple effect around the people that are around you. Yeah, metamorphosis coming out on the bottom. Power and strength lie within our surrender to change. So you're a very powerful person. You embrace a lot of change. Like you're willing to go with the flow. Most of the time, everything around you is constantly shifting and you go with that flow. You're not hiding from that. Yeah, 1111 coming out for you, very spiritual. So you may connect with people in a spiritual way. Even if you're not super spiritual or anything like that, it's just this is a very spiritual way of living. And it is because you're tapping into trusting your gut. You're tapping into the collective mindset, and it's something about everybody what is it? One for all and all for one. The Three Musketeers mindset. That's that type of spiritual connection that allows us to work with others in a very unique way. So we have 65 here. Trust the great mystery. Yeah. You trust that things are going to work out, and then that gives other people the ability to trust in you, and that's something that makes you unforgettable. Like even people who have difficulty trusting, they trust you. Yeah, so we have the eel spirit, electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. You're helping others realize their dreams. That makes you unforgettable. What a powerful position to be in, truly, pile 2. helping others to realize their dreams when so many people don't even know what they want from life, let alone how to chase it and realize it. And you're over here like, let's all get it. Grounding with tree. You're a very stable connection for people, and that's something that makes you unforgettable. Like, even if things get harder, like even if you get sick, or even if things go awry in your own life, like you're still someone who consistently shows up. You're a pillar upon which your team can stand on, and you're okay with that. Like, you're okay holding that position. You're a leader of some sorts, and you definitely own that position. It's not something that you're afraid of. And it's because you've grown deep roots and you've grounded yourself so much, and you're very okay and centered with who you are. And that reverberates out to everyone else. And so they see you as this strong tree that's immovable. They know that they can rely on you, and you've proven to them that they can. What makes you unforgettable? Pile number 2. All right. On the bottom of the deck, we have Pallas, Athena, and Sweetie. The destiny of your world is changing. Whether this is for good or ill is also in your hands. Protect the good, look after love, and leave no room for lower energies to creep in. Yeah, this is exactly that energy I was getting. So it's like when those lower energies come in, like you put contact down to a bare minimum. And if at all possible, you will cut contact, if at all possible. But in some cases, that might not be viable. And so you definitely bring it down to a bare minimum. But you're someone who, you protect the good, you look after love, and you're always in this space of changing. And that change is something that so many people are afraid of. And most people will shy away from change, but you give people around you the courage to embrace the change and trust in that process. What a powerful place to be at. And Athena, she's a goddess of wisdom and war. And war, so it's like you help others go to battle, but also while gaining wisdom along the way. Sagittarius energy, optimism, freedom, and exploration. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're this very happy-go-lucky energy. You're a very optimistic person. You always see the cup as half full. You always look on the bright side. It's not that you can't see the dark shadow in life. I feel like you're definitely someone who embraces the shadow, but it's because you've embraced the shadow that allows you to see the color in life as brightly as you do. Yeah, harmony with music here. You bring a lot of harmony and balance to the world around you, to the people around you. That's something that makes you unforgettable. It's like you're this beautiful tincture, that's what I was trying to say. A beautiful tincture that someone can put in their cup of coffee or tea and drink it, and their day is going to be better. You're medicine. That's what you are. Like, you are an embodiment of medicine in this world, and that's what makes you unforgettable. Cat Joker. It's time to take action. You are now in urgent need of structure, order, and clarity. Didn't I say you're a pillar upon which your team can stand on? You're the structure upon which others take action from. So that consistency and that trust that they have in you, that's what makes you unforgettable. So I'm going to take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. The Sea Lion, balance. Yeah, so you could have Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Or like I said earlier, I don't remember the houses that I felt Libra coming out in, but Libra definitely is coming in for sure. And you could have Libra in the 10th house is coming in as well. But the Sea Lion with balance. Balance and harmony. Finding resolution, solutions. You're like the resolution to life. The solution to life. You're this energy that helps others find their solution. All right. What a beautiful energy. Says a sea lion effortlessly moves between land and sea, symbolizes balance and adaptability. It teaches us to navigate different aspects of life with grace, maintaining equilibrium even in changing environments. This card suggests finding harmony between your responsibilities and personal needs. The sea lion encourages you to remain flexible while keeping your life balanced. It says seek balance between different areas of your life. Flexibility and adaptability will help you maintain harmony. And the reverse is you may be neglecting one area of your life, causing imbalance. Consider if you're focusing too much on one aspect at the expense of others. And the questions are, where do I need more balance? Am I neglecting something important? And how can I better adapt to changing circumstances? Yeah, so you help others embrace the change that is inevitable with life. Instead of fearing it, you give them the courage to walk out with you on the battlefield of life and know that together you are all going to be able to handle it no matter what comes. And that's what makes you unforgettable, pile number 2. What a beautiful reading. Seriously, such a beautiful energy. I'm truly honored to connect with you. If you feel like this was your reading, leave a little music instrument down below. I'll let you choose which one. And say, I bring harmony, balance, and peace into my own life, knowing that that ripples out and inspires and motivates others to do the same. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. With that, I'd like to take this moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message today. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 6th house on it, or perhaps you were called to this little banjo pin, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what makes you unforgettable. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things differently here on this channel, so that being said, if the message does resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Triggering statements may arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, and keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Your time and your presence are a true gift and a blessing today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what makes you unforgettable, pile number 3. What makes you unforgettable, pile number 3? So we have the 12th house, Scorpio energy, and Saturn. Your hardships, you turn them all into spiritual lessons. There's like something very divinely guided that you're divinely guided by here for your hardships that you've been through. You could have Capricorn, Pisces, or Scorpio highly aspect in your chart. You could have Scorpio in the north or south node. You could have Capricorn in the north or south node, or Pisces in the north or south node. You could also have Pisces in the 10th house, in the 3rd house, in the 9th house, Scorpio moon, rising, Uranus, and Pluto, or Capricorn in Saturn, and Capricorn in the 1st house. So that would be your rising sign. Okay, so that's what's coming through. You are very spiritual, and that makes you unforgettable. Like, there's a lot of spiritual people out there, right? But you have a gift, and your gift is something that shows up everywhere you go and in everything that you do. And that's something that makes you truly unforgettable. This ability to connect with people through the gift, through the channel, through through your ability to tap in, whatever that is. So that could be aura reading is coming in, that could be psychic medium, having one of the clairs, or grouping of the clairs. That could be you having a talent for art, a talent for music, a talent for singing, a gift of knowing how to pick up any business, or any like business mindedness is coming through here. So like being able to observe business and understand its inner workings. Finances is coming in as well. So remember, it doesn't have to be just a spiritual gift. All gifts, talents, skills, and abilities are spiritual. But sometimes we're not looking at like, well, I'm not psychic, so I don't have that, but you do have another skill or ability that is a gift from source. And that's what is unforgettable about you. You pick things up incredibly fast. And I also feel like you have shared some of your difficulties with others. You maybe share them on a podcast or blog, or you've written something about it, or it's like conversation starters sometimes, or like when people are talking to you, you're able to share snippets of your life. And I feel like there's a lot of people here who have seen you go through something that was a challenge, maybe a loss of some sort, or overcoming grief, or overcoming anger, or overcoming a betrayal of some sort. And it has empowered you in a way that makes you unforgettable. Like you are so strong, and you are also still so soft and kind through this strength that you have. You're not out here trying to bully people. Like you've been jaded, and you have every right to come into the world jaded, but you don't. Like you're still this very gentle person, this kind person. And it's rare for people who have gone through stuff like that to still be compassionate. So many people let the hardships mold them into hard people. And you don't wear that hardness at all. You don't even wear a shell at all. It's like you're very careful about who you interact with. Yes. You're very careful about who you give your trust to. Yes. But you're not someone who goes out into the world like full getup and armor, ready for battle at the first sign of something suspicious. Like you see something suspicious and you're ready to observe it. Like, what's going on over there? What's happening? I'm going to keep my distance, but I'm going to observe what's going on over there. What is that? What, I don't think I want to get involved in that. No, I'm going to go this way now. Or in something you're like, oh, okay, that's not a big deal. That's not at all what I thought it was. And then you go and you interact with whatever that is, or whatever those people are doing. And that's something that makes you really unforgettable, is that people notice you are on point with your observation skills. But it comes from the hardships that you've had. Like you've learned the gift of empathy because of the trauma that you went through as a child. Like it's a learned skill. Empathy is a learned skill. And I feel like sometimes people forget that. It's just something that is so natural to them, but it's something that happened from a survival instinct. And so your survival instinct has given you a lot of abilities to really connect with people in a very deep, profound way, and to help them overcome their own difficulties as well. That's kind of been an underlying message today, with just helping others overcome their message. So just really quickly, if you chose to hang out with me on all three piles, leave a purple heart down below. That means you're a part of my Purple Heart Club, or you can say I made it. I know what that means. And if you're here for pile 3 and pile 3 alone, thank you so much. You're never obligated to watch more than one pile. And I just really appreciate your time, truly. So let's see. What makes you unforgettable, pile number 3? There's something or a group of people from your past that they never thought you would overcome what you've overcome. Like they never imagined that you would boss up and level up the way that you have. But here you are standing, and it seems like you're standing unscathed, but that's not the truth, is it? No, you stand with scars, and you bear your scars. You're not afraid of those scars because they've made you who you are today. And you found the wisdom that they've brought to you, and that's something that makes you unforgettable. What makes you unforgettable, pile number 3? What makes you unforgettable, pile number 3? Yeah, the Father of Cups. You are so compassionate. You have so much emotional maturity. You have your emotions in check. Like, you are aware of what's making you feel like what and when, where, why, and how. Like, you just understand yourself. You know yourself at a very deep, intimate level, and you're always getting to know yourself even more. And you're not ruled by your emotions. They are part of you, and you allow them to be a part of you, but you also don't hand over the reins to them. You maintain composure and control at all times. Yeah, the Ace of Wands. You're a very inspiring person too. You inspire creativity in others and inspire motivation in others and a sense of wonder about the world as well. And so I feel like you're always, even though life has been so difficult for you, you still maintain this element of seeing through the eyes of a child, and that's something that's unforgettable about you. It's just like I said, it's like you've been given reason to show up very jaded in the world, but yet you don't. You still show up from this very childlike place of wonder. Everything is wonder to you. It's like, oh, how is that those skills of observation give you access to seeing the world through eyes of wonder. The Chariot. Yeah, you have survived something here. And the Two of Cups. So this could have been a betrayal from a broken heart, or a relationship that fell apart or something. There's like cheating here, or there was mistreatment, abuse of some sort that was coming through. You thought this was a forever situation. And I feel like the people from your past, they thought that this was a forever situation too. But somewhere along the line, you had to choose yourself, because you realized that this situation was diminishing you and slowly eating away your soul. And you had to choose yourself. And in choosing yourself, it changed you. It changed who you were. It changed how you talk. It changed how you show up. It changed how you look. For the better, of course, because you began to reconnect with your intimate self. But no one thought you were going to stay away. I feel like people felt like, oh, you know, pile 3's choosing themselves now, but they're going to come crawling back, or they're going to come back to this person, or they're going to come back to this situation. And you stayed gone. You stayed gone, and that made you unforgettable. There could have been, like, if this was an ex, the ex could have tried to convince everybody that you always came back. Oh, we've broken up a ton of times, and they always came back. They're going to come back. They can't stay away from me. I'm their addiction. I'm their everything. They'll never stay away from me like that. And so I feel like a lot of people were believing what someone else had to say about you. And everybody was holding their breath, waiting for that moment, because I feel like there's a lot of people who didn't want you to come back because they saw how this was eating you alive, and they saw that this was not a good situation for you. And you didn't, and you haven't, and it's been a long time. And this other person, they're like, oh, just wait. And for you, you've already moved on. And people, they didn't believe that you would move on from this situation, and you have. And you're wearing that now. You're wearing how you moved on. It's the coat you put on every day. Like, I don't have to go back because I love myself. I approve of myself. I am enough. I accept myself. I respect myself. I am enough. And that situation made me feel like I wasn't enough, and I don't want to go back to that. And now people are just very, there's the shock, but there's also an awe to it. Like, they're shocked because you stayed away, but they're also in awe because you found the courage to stay away and to maintain yourself. And they see that you now give that love to yourself. And that's what makes you unforgettable, is how much you care and love about yourself. And it is inspiring to others. But also something that is unforgettable is how much you grew emotionally from this situation. Like maybe there are people here who saw you lose your temper, or maybe there are people here who saw you cry a lot and be very emotional a lot. Maybe there are people here who saw you clam up and go into the silent treatment. You know, I just feel like there was people here who witnessed your emotions running your life, and now you come off as this very balanced, harmonious type of energy. And it's because, oh, my apologies, one second. There's dogs that have been walking around, and so she's been barking at them. There's this beautiful black butterfly that's been flying around outside as well. Absolutely gorgeous. And I feel like that's the thing, like with the black swan here too, like you're just a rare person. You're someone who's chosen to be alone or to be without this situation when everyone else around you would have chosen the situation over being alone. And you chose being alone, and you've grown in that solitude in ways that are unexplainable. And that's what makes you unforgettable, is like you're the one that got away. But everybody feels that way. Like all these people who are watching you, they all feel like you're the one that got away, but you had to get away for your self-preservation. Zoe, go lay on the bed, baby. Thank you. She wants on the couch. She can't jump on the couch right now, and I have to move too much to help her onto the couch right now, so she'll lay on her bed. She's like, I got you. She went and laid on the bed. All right, what makes you unforgettable? Yeah, the way you give and receive love, the way you find value and see beauty in the world, the way you cherish yourself. And I feel like this is the other thing, is like you're falling in love with yourself. This has been a process of falling in love with yourself. And there's people here who are like, oh no, pile 3 needs a person in their life. And you have shown them all that you just needed to love yourself. And that's something that makes you unforgettable, because you've done something that no one around you from the past could ever have done. Because no one knew that. They all were seeking for someone else to fill the role. And you asked, what happens if I fill that role myself? So you've turned into this pearl. I also feel like, I believe black pearls are more rare than white pearls. And that's something that I feel like you're like the black pearl, like the black swan, right? Like you're this rare energy. But it's something that's very precious. It's something that's very treasured. And so you are inspiring people from your past, and you may not even know that. Yeah, fixed energy. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. We have stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. You've been very consistent for your journey. You've been very persistent, and you've become loyal to yourself. But you're also someone who's incredibly loyal to others. And that's something that makes you unforgettable. Not everybody has experienced loyalty the way that you give loyalty. Yeah, distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe that it is. And that's the thing. That's what I was saying. Like, you didn't need someone else to fill that role. That's what makes you stand out regardless, because you're not believing what everyone else is. Like, oh, I need a person to love in my life. I need this person back in my life. Like, you don't need them. You don't even want them. You realize what I needed all along was myself, and you saw through all that illusion. And that's something that now is making the people who've been in your life or who've been around you before, now they're questioning the same thing. Like, is this something that we really need? Or is this just something that everybody is accepted as reality? And that's also scary to them because it's starting to crack the foundations that they thought were stable in their lives. And it's because you built your own foundation in life. Emptied, exactly. The ending and the beginning lie at either side of the same door. You had to be willing to let go of something so you could begin something new. And you did just that. And so while this person was with their last breath, as much as they could, trying to convince everybody that you were going to come back, you had to find another way. We have the brown bear spirit. Take time out. Yeah. You didn't jump back into anything. I feel like maybe this person did. Like if this is a love relationship or an ex, I feel like they jumped right back into another relationship. Like right away. They were already hooking up with somebody and connecting and trying to build something so that when their version of reality played out, which it never was going to, but when they believed you came back, that they could turn you down and be the bigger person. But it never played out, and so they jumped into a really kind of crappy situation, and now they're going through a lot of what they put you through. And it's not, again, it's not that energy of like, well, they deserve that. It's just kind of, that's the intention that they put out there. What did they think was going to happen? They were always going to get the better part of the bargain. They believe that. Well, Source has a funny way of humbling us along the journey. Yeah, sometimes life stings. This is not anything you deserved either, Pile 3. You did not deserve to go through this. This is not something that came into your life because you did something awful in a past life or even awful in your younger days. This was just a situation that played out. It was life being life, and it stung and it hurt, and it created a lot of tears and pain and sorrow in your life. And you took that and you transmuted that into something positive, and reclaiming your power has been something that's taken a lot of courage. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You've done such an amazing job. And I feel like all the people who are watching you that feel that you're unforgettable are also proud of you. Like I said, they were holding their breath. I don't feel like a lot of people wanted you to go back to that. They knew it was a toxic situation. They knew it was a difficult situation for you. But also they didn't feel like they had the right to say anything. It's like, well, it's none of our business, but I really hope that Pile 3 takes care of themselves. And now that you are inspiring them. Yeah, movement, river. You trusted the unknown, and now you're moving forward with life. You're becoming something different, becoming something new. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Also, if you didn't have a chance, you might resonate with the collective message that I did at the beginning of the reading, which is timestamped in the description box below. You're more than welcome to check that out if you feel called to, okay? We have number 22 here, trusting the process. Yeah. Saradin, I'm going to get there. Sardwin and Baldwin. We have see the wonders around you and honor this incarnation. The here and now is the stage on which you will encounter and learn to love yourself. Yes, this has been what makes you unforgettable, is the way you love yourself. Also, your self-respect. I feel like people thought that you didn't respect yourself being involved with the person that you were involved with, or the situation that you were involved with. And maybe that was a mirror to that. Maybe there was some element of lack of self-respect. But through that, you've learned how to respect yourself now, and you stand very grounded in that self-respect. On the bottom, yeah, Mars energy. I'm not surprised. We have Mars and Charitas, with understanding that nothing is wholly good or evil, and that even the strongest poison can heal in the right dose. And I feel like this is what I was feeling earlier. I was saying, like, this person is now going through what they put you through. I don't feel like you're in that energy of like, yeah, it serves them right. They better, I hope they get it worse than I got it. Like, I don't feel like you're in that energy. I feel like you're just like, well, I mean, kind of like how I was in that energy of like, what did they expect? Did they really think they were always going to have things work out for them when their intentions weren't pure? Like, eventually the way we treat people, it comes back to us. We can think that it won't, but eventually it does. And it comes back in ways that surprising and very humbling. And we can be stubborn and not be humbled by that. That's fine. That's fine. That's our choice, right? Like, we all have that choice. But I don't feel like for you, this is something like, good, they deserve that. Like, and maybe some of you are. And remembering that if we're in that energy, that's always an opportunity for us to heal and to let go a little more. It's just remembering that you took action for yourself, and that action has benefited you and brought you to where you are now. And that's something that's powerful. Yeah, fairies with earth magic. You've learned that nurturing yourself is a doorway into accessing the magic within. And it took a while for you to get here. Feeling like you're enough is something that you've struggled with for a long time. And it could be because of this situation, or it could be because of a lot of past situations. And I feel like what makes you unforgettable now is that you accept yourself, and you're in the process of learning to accept yourself even deeper every day. And that shows, and that's what people recognize about you. And you're also giving others the courage to accept themselves exactly as they are. You're not out here trying to make people be something or somebody that they're not just so that they fit in. You're the voice in the world that says, be different, be unique, be you, and don't let anybody knock you down. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book for you. We're going to see what it says. The Ant, cooperation. So you've learned what was not cooperation, what was not growing with others. And now you are someone that many people want to cooperate with, to grow with. You're an inspiration. And you did the work for yourself, right? Ants are busy. They're always working. In fact, they'll stop and they'll take a nap right where they're at in the ant line. They'll just take a nap in the ant line. That's how they sleep, right? They take a little power nap and then they get back at it. Ants are unique. They're very, very unique creatures for sure. It says the ant is the symbol of hard work and cooperation, represents the power of teamwork and the importance of community. Ants work together to achieve their goals, each one playing a vital role in the survival of the colony. This card suggests that cooperation and collaboration are essential to your success. The ant reminds you that no one is an island and that working together can achieve great things. Embrace cooperation and work as part of a team. Collaboration will lead to success and harmony. In the reverse, it says you may be neglecting the power of teamwork, trying to do everything on your own. Consider whether you are isolating yourself or refusing help from others. How can I better cooperate with others? Am I trying to do too much on my own? And what role can I play in my community or team? And that's the thing. I feel like you're helping others by being you. Like, that's the thing. It's you're giving that freedom to others. You're trying to help be that voice to others, to encourage them to be unique, to stand out. Let go of these distorted perceptions. Let go of the distorted reality and the illusions that are saying you're not enough as you are, because you are absolutely enough as you are. And if people aren't seeing you that way, then that's a good indication that you're not meant to be around them. And that's something that makes you unforgettable. It's like I said, people want to work with you. People want to be around you. They want to do the same things that you're doing because they see the benefit of it. And that's what makes you unforgettable. So what a truly powerful reading here for you today, pile number 3. This is what I see for you. If you felt like this was your reading, I don't know if there's an ant emoji down below. If there's not an ant emoji, then do the emoji that's holding hands like this. Okay, and say, it's through my love of life and self and the ability to speak that unto others that I'm truly able to elicit change around me. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I'd like to take this moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, source, and my spirit guides for coming together today to give us this very powerful message. I'm truly honored I got to connect with you. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye. You got a second?